May I now request Professor R.K. Goyal, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Tipsur University, to address the gathering with his valuable views.
Thank you, Dr. Sapna, for this. Thank you, Dr. Raisuddin, for considering this as a venue and also to have the blended mode. President and my friend, colleague, Professor Y.K. Gupta, the President of the Society, General Secretary, Dr. M.A. Akbar Shah, the other Vice President, Dr. Vijay Pal Singh, the advisory panel, Dr. Thomas, Dr. Hajmi, Dr. Christian, and many others, including Dr. Pandey, who are going to be the speakers. My colleague, Professor C.R. Patil, who was known to me for many, many years as a student to all this, to the current state. My other colleagues, Dr. Mukesh Nandwe, Dr. Anu, Dr. Ajit, Dr. Sachin, who are sitting in the audience, deans, directors, and all those who are attending this inaugural session. Well, my task has been made relatively easier, so the presentation I would like to be a little brief because the time is also been little more. To Dr. Raisuddin, I am really elated to meet you today, honestly, and I extend my full support. I will rather request at this stage to my colleagues, pharmacology colleagues, to prepare a policy wherein this membership also can be part of staff welfare measures. Do that. Just we will take it to F3 and do that. And workshop, anytime we can do, we will join hands. As such, we have been always working together with Jamia Amdad, and let us work some joint projects also, and all supports from our side. And very important thing that credit course for alternate to animal experiments. Maybe our colleague Dr. Rajni Mathur and others who are sitting, we just take it and let us see if we can incorporate that along with the credits for the starting from the final year itself. That is what is there. And I'm delighted that actually normally people write international conference and there are hardly any international delegates. This is the conference, they are not writing anything international, but it is truly international with the delegates and speakers both from UK, Japan, UK, USA, Europe, South Korea, Belgium, and I don't know, there are many more which appear to be from the list because many are presenting posters and not they may not be the speakers. So it is truly, we are honored to have this. I am really thankful for that. Now, when Dr. Patil told that the theme of the conference is organ on chip technology, honestly, in my life, I never worked on that. So it took me a little time to understand properly, but honestly, I could understand little faster because about 2 months back on the call of Dr. Sopti and Dr. Geeta Agrawal, we prepared one book chapter on the organ on chip. So that's why I could recollect. And it is all thanks to Dr. Geeta Agrawal who did it. Really, she was involved in the depth. And of course, I had little background to reach that level. Well, COVID has made many changes and bioevolution is one of them. So bioevolution, biomolecules, biosystems, biocomputing. Now all these are away from the animal experimentation, let me tell you. These are the real changes which have occurred for last many years. And there are many things which are changing, but I will restrict to this top biopharma evolution which has come. Well, I'm a pharmacologist, so I may start with this, but pharmacologists are like a biological scientist only. It has changed dramatically. The knowledge, the way in which things have got, like genetics and all, they have entered into it. The boundaries of integrity, they are all fading. They're all integrative medicine. Many things have happened, and the academics has also changed, fast saying the changes. And one more change which has come after COVID is the online classes. Many challenges, many advantages, many disadvantages. I'm going to see that we are all going to watch that. Teaching, administration, everything has changed with the COVID also. Academics is changing, but many things more than that. Even the professionalism may change now with the COVID. I mean, I've seen these changes which occurred in all pharmacology for last 40, 50 years. So tools are also changing. Now everything, initially all videotape and all that, but now it is all cell phone. There are technologies on the cell phone, and now what we are talking is organ on chip. So maybe doctors are looking to have diagnostics with the like person, telemedicine, what we are talking. On cell phone, there will be one connection. He will give his ECG, EEG, anything. I don't know what is going to be the next change, but it looks that this is the organ on chip. Maybe that online classes, one, now we are thinking online experimentation, simulations, maybe online research also. With the cell phone or the computer, you will be attaching some organ, and maybe you may start playing to get the drugs also. It's not illusion, it may be a reality also. It looks like that. So this is what is changing. Now, since my task has been made a little easier by Dr. Raisuddin, he has already talked all. I will not go, we all know that how animals have been used from years. I will not go into detail. But success stories have been there. Polio research, cat, dog, we know all what has come out of the research. Even the Covaxin and Covishield, it was possible because we had monkeys. And ICMR could connect very well there, and we could get. It's not that we cannot undermine all this. Right? It's a truth. But just like human welfare, animal welfare started. Going back to 1641, the first legislation. I will not go into again all these details, as rightly pointed out, that we are not for that. We are all animal lovers. That's why these welfare things started coming. And in India, when I remember when the CPCA was introduced, I still remember the meeting in Delhi with Maneka Gandhiji and Honorable Minister, and she was, and I suggested rather that why don't you include pharmacologists and all that in the team? Don't go by only the social workers or like that. She immediately pointed out and noted, and it was executed. I think within a month, everything was executed. This is what I remember. Well, now we all know that nobody can do any experiment without IAEC approval. And you are supposed to see many things. The committee is supposed to see all this. I will take few minutes only to address this, not too much. Like all first three, I'm just combining housing, food, and disposing of. The good thing is that yes, there is a proper pharmacology or biological experiments all throughout. Good housekeeping, good food, this things have drastically changed. If I remember 25 years back or before that CPCA regulation was there, but this was there. But still there are certain bad things going on. There was pressure, but now that also has eased to a great extent. Now, the post has also been created. This is the older slide. At that time, I used to suggest that no, there has to be a regular appointment. See, many times when you are in the administrative position, it is not that easy to convince everything. But if you have the regulation, it is there. Now, in our university also, I could convince you, no, you have to have it. Veterinary regular position, and it is done. So this is one thing. But again, still I think one more thing is missing. The post for animal attendant and all are also supposed to be regular position. I request that yes, it can be taken up. Anyway, use satisfied, I think, with the forms one, form A, form B, everything is getting very well. Few experiments have gone, good things have happened. There was unnecessary use of this in the higher secondary of the frogs and all that. Good. Pharmacy, PCI, Pharmacy Council of India, Medical Council of India, they have restricted these uses. They are not required in the simulation. And we are very proud that Dr. Chandragada Patil is one of the one who has brought out the simulation program, and all the pharmacy institutions are using it. Well, I miss my dog experiment, honestly, even today, because I had 2-3 wonder drugs because of the dog experiments. But anyway, forget about it. But ugly things, there are still there are many things which need debate. I will not go into detail of that. But 3 R's are very important. Replacement, refinement, we are going to. So replacement, the good, bad, again, that yes, humane approach has come, biotechnological experiments have come, good thing, everything has happened good. Little bad is that when we ask PG student to do this experiment, it is not. They say no, only for research. So we have a little tougher time in that. I personally feel pharmacology cannot be learned if you don't do experiment in PG. This is what is there. There should be a clear done. And somehow, maybe, I don't know whether it's a pressure of the private institutions or that. PCI also says, okay, not required. I think that is something to be taken care of. And everything cannot be replaced, let me tell you. There is some limitation and it has to be taught. Refinement, for sure, very good thing. Everything is remain the same. But when PG students are not learning, I feel very bad, I can say. I don't say that you have to use large animals, but at least on the small animals. And of course, I was very happy in one of the institutes I saw. They were using chickilium and all that, and they were showing. This is exporting. I really like it. And our animal, we are also trying to have all this. But yes, unnecessary research on the oxidative stress and all should also be avoided. Anyway, I will not like to go into that part. Reduction has been possible. Surgeries and all, now it is all taken care of. I will not go into those things. Now, straightway, I'm coming to the point of the drug discovery, because ultimately, we as the academician or industry, R&Ds may say, you have hampered our drug discovery. So I would like to comment on that. Now yes, there are certain facts that 70 to 80% animals were used to just characterize the promising candidate. All these data, I will not go into detail, but one point only I would like to tell, which is still prevailing, and I personally feel it has to be attended by the PG students or those who are doing the research on herbal or new compounds. Let us first see LD50. What do you mean by that? First see efficacy. If it is efficacious, then only go for toxicity. First they will see toxicity and then going for efficacy. So out of 10, we all know out of 100 compounds, only 5 are going to be effective. So unnecessarily you have killed the 95 for the sake of the useless 95 what? that has to be taken care. It should be strict. I'm happy. I think that in NMIMS I stopped that. I said no, it is not required. Only if you find effective, then only go for LV50 or any toxicity test. I made it enough. So this fact has to be understood. This is one thing. So this is a greater chunk of unnecessary things are going on. That's why I'm trying to mention at this platform. Now, science of science has come in the COVID era. I will not go again into detail because of the time. Let me come to the important part, the theme of the society itself. Alternatives to be developed for after these regulations. Many alternatives of physico-chemical method were tried. Okay, there are limitations, but in vitro became most common. Whether any management or likes or not, they have to be there. Whether it is an expensive or whatever it may be, but cell culture is one of the easier and the best way of doing it. Microbial assays, microdosing, stem cell therapy, and computer-based. All these things have come. Now, computer-based is, I will say it is first, because the new drug discovery has to start from if it is a chemical, the docking study. And we have it. We could get the COVID drug only and only with the starting of the docking study. And that person or Dr. Kalicharan was doing at home and did it. We got it. We did not even extract the things. Straight from the whatever compounds are available, we went on it. And we could find which are the right plants. So this is the way you can minimize it. And it is going on. And very important thing, of course, it is missing in this slide is the use of aquatic animals. I mean, we all know, and 2 workshops are going to be held, right? C. elegans and all. This is very, very, very important. This concept is yet to come. I'm happy that this is like there is was one I had just forgotten that. For the Parkinsonism also, this model was used. It's beautiful. This is also, it has to be compulsorily added into the curriculum. There's no question. I think we can have it in our syllabus because at least add-on we can do. This is very, very important. Now we are coming to that theme of what we have talked. See, there has been change in the medical science, medical practice from all angles. Whether it is a herbal, source of the drugs, we think of now gene therapy and all that. We are happy that in this conference we are going to have that. Diagnostics. When I used to talk before COVID about diagnostic, people were not believing even. Now even if ordinary person understands there is something like RT-PCR. This is the sea change which has occurred. So at this stage, if we don't understand, that means there is no words now. Whole world is now looking. Previously, European and some countries, they used to feel that why should we bother about the communicable diseases? Now the world has come together for this. This is what the big change which has occurred. Similar changes have occurred, but this era beyond 2020 is going to be post-COVID era. It will be known by post-COVID era now. You say biotechnology era, patient care era in pharmacy, but it is going to be a post-COVID era in, I think, practically all allied health sciences to me. Well, as a pharmacologist, I'm sure our Dr. Vaikulka will very well remember. We used to talk up to 2000, the genetic revolution. Trends in pharmacological sciences. The article came up. But now it has added to omics revolution, proteomics, metabolomics, transcriptomics, and all that. And as I feel that there will be a separate post-COVID revolution, which is yet to be seen. Well, coming back to all this, I want to attend to this DNA chips. As such, in this 2021, in this 21 years itself, we have seen many changes which have come. To me, all are revolutions. Genome project, to gene therapy, to precision medicine, to biomarker. You can go on naming. I could sort out 21 revolutions which have occurred already. The change started with the DNA. We all know that when the human genome project got completed, we thought there will be a lot of druggable things, but what it gave was the diagnostic simultaneously. And the whole method, the strategy change for the drug discovery. So what I am talking that I missed the dog experiment, truly I am not missing also now, because now I have to understand the structure first and then go for things. Previously I was getting from the animal and then go back to that. It is reversed totally now. And at every stage you will find something like biotechnology or gene-based things involved. That is what I don't, again, because of time, I cannot go on talking this. But one thing good thing has happened is that genome, which was highly expensive, I mean, $1 million it has come down to thousands only. That is what has happened. Whole picture has changed that I told that we have to start with the molecular, the bioinformatics or the talking study and then go further. Start understanding the structure of the target. Well, all these things have emerged. We all know this, whether it is a stem cell therapy, gene therapy, or whatever it may be. Even the CRISPR technology, gene manipulation directly. Gene, there is, I think, there are experts who are going to speak on the regenerative therapy also. Omics. Initially, I was not ready to believe that the genomics, there will be something further than genomics. Now it is omics, and the figures showed that no, I have to learn this metabolomics also properly. But I don't think at this age I can start doing this. Anyway, but just to tell that yes, don't underestimate, it is going to be the future. By the time you will be expert in genomics, probably you will be outdated. It may happen, even in 10 years. And the data has started coming, how metabolomics can play an important role in drug discovery. Well, we got it. Now, why I want to show, not to show that we have done it, but our approach was first to have bioinformatics. I took two types of reverse pharmacology, one by Dr. Ashok Vaid and Bhushan Patwardhan, Professor Bhushan. Another side, what was published, one another side, that how bioinformatics to all. So here we went to that through the molecular docking. We identified, based on literature, we said that ACE2 is the best target, and phytoconstituent already established were docked, system was understood, formulation was made, antiviral study was done. Of course, University of Missouri helped in that. And finally, we got even the clinical trial completed and the drug is there. Well, it is possible. I mean, hardly one set. Now, whatever animal experiments are going, it is further to it. Even why I have brought this slide, because pharmacy, everybody is working on nanomedicine. How many are thinking that it can be useful in the CRISPR and the gene DNA understanding also? One has to think that also. Repurposing of drug. COVID has given that very rigorously. And final, I am not the expert, but whatever I could understand, it all started with in vitro models first. From there, the 3D printing in what in vitro model, or what we say bioprinting, would be established. And there, the 3D bioprinting mimicking actual arrangement in the tissue, that was the case. And then based on that, the mechanisms could be established. And now we have something, the organ on chip, which can be used for not only the understanding the disease profile or therapeutics, but also for drug-drug interaction, and also a platform for the personalized medicine. The precision medicine, what we are talking, which is going to be the future. This is the organ on chip 3D printing model, as I could understand. What I could understand is that the process involves not only your biology, but biophysics and all that. The knowledge about the polymers to all that. Physics, biology, and math all have to come together. And the whole process can be seen. It can be described. I think there is one there is a speaker, Dr. Mohanam. He is going to describe. Please attend that. This is very beautiful, wonderful. What I have understood is that as of now, within short time, this thing has already come. Organ on chip, the gut, pancreas, kidney, they have already come as the organ on chip. And you understand what liver means. If liver is there or kidney is there, that means PKPD department the load has to go down. So this is what is the case, pharmacokinetics. So this is what has come. And again, there are different models, and this will be something useful even for the precision medicine. It is going to be the future. So this is the organ on chip model which we are talking about. Well, definitely it is the potential to substitute animal models. And the figures are again very overwhelming. CAGR of 63%. I cannot believe. I don't know. I hope that this data is correct. And it is going to be 5 million. I mean, fast it is established. It's a very newest field, I can say. And it is fueled by personalized medicine. Because of this personalized medicine, the growth rate may remain even high. There are many players have already come in. So, I mean, from 5 million to it may jump to 303 million. So, anybody who's thinking of innovation, the startup, this is the area. And already there are many players started coming in. That's what I found. I'm sure that this Society for Alternative to Animal Experimentation will make a big dent by working in this field. This may be a conference which will help it. So thank you very much. Be little different. Thank you so much for giving us.
Thank you, sir.